Hello. My name is Callista, and welcome back to Pentiment. In the last episode, we were warned that the Archdeacon had arrived early. He wants to speak to us tomorrow at Non's, that is 3 p.m. Now, fingers crossed, we might be able to do some investigative work before we speak to the Archdeacon. I am still hopeful that we will be able to attend a spinning bee. There is going to be so much gossip there. There is going to be so much local gossip there, and I think that would be really handy. But for now, we have to have dinner with someone, and I'm interested in hearing what Lady Salomea has to say. Ah, Master Mailer, would you care to share supper at my table? I would like to talk to you about my late husband. Of course, please lead the way. I'm afraid I have other engagements now. Let's go. I don't think we're gonna get any specific clues out of Lady Salomea. I mean, she wasn't here at the time of the murder, but I'd be intrigued to hear what she has to say. I think she's a very interesting choice. Of course, please lead the way. Thank you. Please sit. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen. Ooh, oh my, we've got chicken, we've got cheese and bread, some kind of little, not entirely sure what this is, oranges? Or mangoes? Apricots, maybe? I find myself rather out of place here without the comfort of the Baron. Thank you for agreeing to share a meal with me, Master Mailer. Of course, the honour is mine. Ooh, you are welcome to any comfort you may find in me in this difficult time. Do you want to see my dick? Your husband's dead. Like, that is... That's not cool, Andreas. You must have been staying nearby to arrive here so quickly. It is a terrible thing what happened to the Baron. I must admit, I'm surprised you wish to speak with me. In a way, we're an outsider just like her. We don't belong to the village. We're staying there. We kind of occupy a strange middle ground. We're accepted amongst the common folk, yet we are also accepted amongst the abbey, or at least most of the monks seem to accept us, not all of them. We're an outsider just like her husband was. And listen, I can't, her husband has literally just died. We can't offer to show her our penis right now, like, that is not okay. This one, though, like, she did arrive on the scene very quickly. She got here quick. I don't think she had anything to do with the murder. Again, we haven't been told to investigate it. If it turned out like, oh, the wife did it, I would be very surprised. You must have been staying nearby to arrive here so quickly. You are an observant man, Master Mailer. Indeed, I was staying in Innsbruck while my husband visited the abbey. Okay, yeah. Oh, it's quail. Oh my, even fancier. I just did that. I'm like, that looks like a chicken to me. Okay. Emmental cheese and wheat bread. Is that it? Is it just... Okay, looks like it's just the two and some wine. Oh, I want to save the quail till last. I like me my meat. I love some meat. Yeah, let's eat the bread and cheese. I would assume that would be take. There you go. We had meant to take a tour of the Alpine towns before returning to our home in Worms, but... Well, return we shall. I'm sorry for your loss, my lady, but not as you'd hoped. Say nothing. I'm drawn to this. I'm drawn to but not as you'd hoped. However, it's... That is a very cold way of putting it. However, what I will say about her, she is keeping it together remarkably well. A little too well, in my opinion. Like, if I were in her shoes, you know, I have a husband, I love him dearly, he's dead. I would not be like, oh, let's go to dinner with the local artist. Come, sit at my table. I'd be distraught somewhere. I'd be crying. Like, yes, I know it's been at least a day. It's only been a day. It's only been 24 odd hours since her husband was killed. I would be crying. I wouldn't be able to talk to anyone. So the fact that she's like, oh, come for dinner. Oh, yes, this is what we were going to do. She's not like, we were going to take a tour of the Alpine towns. And then we were going to go home. Like, she's not like that. She's being very, very calm. It could be due to her position. I would expect that, you know, nobility, you know, oh, you can't be falling apart. You can't be crying in front of people. Stiff upper lip and all of that. The other thing I'm wondering, did she love her husband? Yes, they were married, but at a time like this, love matches were relatively rare among the nobility. You married for alliance. You married because, like, oh, well, you have a lot of money and I have a castle that requires upkeep. Therefore, we will make a good match. Or, oh, your father has connections to this town and I have a title, therefore it's mutually beneficial. Given her response, I doubt this was a love match. In which case, it doesn't necessarily matter that this is cold. She might not have loved him. She might have liked him. They might have been on friendly terms. She's not saying, oh, good riddance, I hated him. So I'm going to assume at the very least she liked her husband. I'm sorry for your loss, my lady. This sorrow is just the first of many, I'm afraid. Are you married yourself, Master Mela? Not yet. There's so much of the world I've yet to see, if you take my meaning. A woman waits for me in Nuremberg. When I finish my work here, we will be wed. No, and truth be told, I'm not looking forward to the prospect. I don't think it matters whether Andreas is looking forward to it or not. And given the fact that he likes to get with a lot of women, I doubt he's looking forward to it, but his family wants him to do it. His family wants him to do it, and, you know, he has a duty to them. So he's gonna do it. I feel like this is gonna get us more information. Being a bit flirty, I don't think is gonna get us anywhere. I think, because, oh, well, you know, a woman waits for me. When I finish my work here, we'll be wed. She might say, oh, I hope your marriage is happier than mine was. She might try and give us marriage advice, in which case, you know, we can read into that. Oh, if she's saying, here's how to avoid these problems, they were probably, you know, issues in her own marriage. A woman waits for me in Nuremberg. When I finish my work here, we will be wed. Do you not look forward to the responsibilities of marriage, Master Mela? Perhaps it's no surprise you and Lorenz became fast friends. I imagine he saw something of himself in you. I'm offended by that. This man was a prick. This man was a prick. We take consent very seriously here. It doesn't seem like Lorenz did. Madam, you have offended me. I imagine he saw something of himself in you. Oh, my. He even gave you one of his pins. He must have been quite fond of you. Do you mean to say you knew of his excursions? We shared a passion for the finer things. I hope I should meet a more peaceful end than he did. After everything we've learned about Lorenz, I think Andreas would want to distance himself. I don't think he'd want to admit, like, that they shared any interests at all. Do you mean to say you knew of his excursions? Master Mailer, very little of a husband is mysterious to his wife, no matter what he may fool himself into believing. Lorenz was a flawed man. His various infidelities were no secret to me. But are we not all flawed before Christ? Ooh. Oh, hello. Ooh, frumentary. I don't know what this is. I don't know what frumenty, not tree. Frumenty. I mean, I noticed this is covered in berries. Maybe it's like some kind of fermented berry, like, compote, almost? Is compote the right term? Mushed up berries that have been, like, fermented a wee bit. Maybe, I'm saving the quail for last. Ah, okay, so it was... She didn't love him because she genuinely loved him. She loved him because, like, I'm his wife. It's my duty to love him, but I don't necessarily feel anything for him. Okay. I loved him as a wife should properly love her husband, but I would not say that we were friends. I only hope his appetites are not what led him to his end. I've been searching for the answer to that quandary myself. Were you and Lorenz so close that you would trouble yourself so? My motivation is personal. I fear the abbot and the archdeacon will be led to inaccurate conclusions by circumstantial evidence. I mean, is there any issue with us telling her this? It might make her view the abbot in a poor light, but is she going to have anything to do with the abbey after all of this? It was Lorenz and his family who were patrons of Kirsau, not Lady Salomea and hers. I don't think there's any issue with us being overly honest here. I fear the abbot and the archdeacon will be led to inaccurate conclusions by circumstantial evidence. My mentor, Brother Piero, was found with the Baron's body, but I do not believe he killed your husband. But the situation is more complex than it appears. Oh, I want to be honest with her. I don't want to name drop Piero. I don't know how involved she's going to be with the archdeacon. If we're actually having a trial, on one hand I'm like, she's his wife, I could see her being called. But she wasn't here at the time. All she could say is like, oh, my husband had an eye for the ladies, like, that's it. She can talk about their marriage, but not really anything else. I don't want to name drop Piero. By saying, like, oh, my mentor, Brother Piero, she can turn around and say, like, oh, well, surely you're biased towards this man. You're biased towards him. That's why you're fighting so hard for this. But the situation is more complex than it appears. I'm afraid I can say no more than that. I see. Well, I suppose it shouldn't surprise me that my husband made his share of enemies. He was a man of many opinions, and he gave them freely to all who would listen, and some who would not. The previous abbot, Father Matthias, seemed to appreciate that about him. This new abbot is perhaps more conservative. Father Matthias was an open-minded man, from all I've heard, a true scholar. Father Ganot doesn't share Matthias's passion for the written word, yet endures the expense of it. To be put in such a position would make any man unhappy, I understand. I wonder what he will make of Lorenz's gift to the Abbey. What gift was this? Wait for her to continue. It was it was a book. He had a book that Father Matthias wanted, and this book seemed like a threat. From how he spoke about it in the, in the dining area with the abbot and all the monks were there, he was like, oh, if you won't listen to me about the church's future, then let's see what you think about Kirsau's past. Like, he said it like it was a threat. He seemed to think that this book was going to cause a major stir. And from what I struggle to remember the conversation we had with Sister Illuminata, but it seemed like Matthias wanted this book because there was mention of doubt. That Father Matthias could have had some doubts. And he wanted this book to see whether or not his doubts were well-founded. I don't trust this. Also, the book is missing, I remember that. And I don't think Martin would have it. Martin stole a bunch of the rings, and the book was also missing. Why would Martin take a book? Can Martin even read? I don't know if he can read. Why would he take this random book? Him taking jewels, rings, like goblets that were made of silver? Like, I could understand him taking those things. Why take a book? That doesn't fit with him. The book wouldn't fit with Lucky either. That's a thought. I feel pretty certain that Lucky is the killer. Because we know that Lucky kills things by bashing them against rocks. And there is that weird blood splatter on the chapter house wall. That could only be explained by someone slamming the Baron into it. Because it's a splatter, not like a... It's an impact blood splatter rather than, blood moving across like someone's been hit. Why would Lucky take the book? We don't need to ask what the gift was, we remember. I'ma just wait. He had found a book about the history of Tassing. He believed it contained some scandalous details. He said it corroborated fears Father Matthias had expressed, but he didn't share the particulars with me. Oh. This book is a threat. I don't know how, I don't know why this book is a threat. I have thoughts. But I'm going to hold on to them for now. He said it corroborated fears Father Matthias had expressed, but he didn't share the particulars with me. Do you have a sense of what the scandals involved? Did you know Father Matthias yourself? Probably not. She only recently married Lorenz. And again, it was his family that were patrons of the Abbey, not her. She's from, I want to say she's Italian. I swear there was some mention of like, oh, he had a wife from such a place, and we had the option to be like, oh yeah, Venice is lovely, because we picked like that we studied down there. I think she's Venetian or Italian or something. Do you have a sense of what the scandals involved? Beyond the broad basket of Tassing's history, I cannot say. My understanding is that this community is quite old. I'm sorry I can't be of more help. I have some education, but I lack my husband's thirst for knowledge. If you find the book, hopefully its significance will be apparent. If God wills it, nod solemnly. Do you plan to stay in Tassing long? Will you be returning to Worms soon? I mean, she could go back to her original family. I don't know what their home situation was like, but I could see her returning, like, to Italy or wherever she's from. Will you be returning home to Worms soon? Perhaps in a few days. I wait on the arrival of the Archdeacon. When his investigation is complete, I will go. Though the circumstances of my time here are dire, I am in no hurry to return. Why is that, if I may ask? Wait for her to continue. Yeah, let's just let her talk. You are a disarming man, Master Mailer, and much too easy to talk to. You're not the first to tell me so. That does not surprise me. To be frank, I do not know what will become of me when I return to Worms. My title and residence may be in jeopardy. Lorenz and I have a son, but he is young yet. I don't know many of the legalities, only that my position is at some risk. Okay, so she does have a son, in which she'd probably stay there. Her son will inherit the title eventually. Just stay with your kid. You're in a difficult position, my lady. I will pray for your happiness. I suspect you'll survive just fine. She does seem like a lady who can land on her feet. She doesn't seem stupid, or the type to be guided by the wrong sort of people. I think there are many a man who would be like, oh, a single lady with a young kid. She's also rich. And she may or may not have a title. Oh, I can manipulate the shit out of her. She doesn't seem like she'd be easily manipulated. I suspect you'll survive just fine. Lord willing, Master Mailer. Oh, we never got to the quail! We never got to the quail, god damn! I am sorry to cut our conversation short, but I fear I must rest. Thank you for having me at your table. Of course, you've had a long day. Thank you for having me at your table. Be well, Master Mailer. And whatever anyone says of my husband, I'm certain he appreciated your friendship. I should get some sleep. Also, we're gonna pet the dog. Hello, Fushton. He's my favourite. I wonder what kind of dog he is, because he's got a beard. Not many dogs have beards like that. Maybe he's some kind of schnauzer. Oh, Again, I was right. We didn't really get any information that I would call pertinent to our investigation, but still, that was interesting. I'm very glad that I took the time to speak to his wife, because that was interesting. Now, again, I'm gonna have a quick little run around, see if there's anyone to talk to. Okie doke, and there was no one who wanted any late night chat, so let's just head to bed. Oh, this is... Hello, Ilpeter. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous for the trial tomorrow. I don't feel prepared. I don't feel ready. It's getting late. I should get some rest. There's nothing we can do. All we have is to sleep and hope that we don't screw things up too badly tomorrow. Hello. Oh. Okay, let's... Oh! He said his father's name was Joseph. Okay, so this is our dad. Andreas, when are you coming home? Dad? I'll be home soon. I just need to finish this commission for the Abbey. I'm a little nervous about this girl. Sabine, how's business? Maybe this is something he doesn't feel like he can actually say to his dad. You know, he wants to make his family proud. He needs to settle down with the girl. He's feeling a bit nervous about getting married, but he can't actually say it to him, so he's saying it in his dreams. I'm a little nervous about this girl. Sabine? Don't worry yourself over it. I barely knew your mother before we were married. Besides, you need a wife if you're going to start your workshop as a master. That's the law. That is not... That does not seem like a good law. Yes, of course. You're not going to quit this like you quit university, are you? No, of course not. No, of course not. Good. If it weren't for the work I did for the rector, you would never have had the opportunity. Most people never get a second chance after they throw something away like that. I know, Dad. Say nothing. I know, Dad. We'll see you when you get back. Sure, alright. Alright! No, there we go, alright. Oh, hello, Sabine. Oh, it's you. I only have the picture of you. The one my brother Daniel made. I really don't have any idea what you're like. Are you really that pretty? Do you really want to get married to a stranger? So, what are you like? Please don't imagine me telling you in your own mind. Okay, so we're picturing her as being quite sassy, okay. Why? You'll imagine I'm wonderful, or imagine I'm horrible. Either way, it's not fair to me, is it? The painted you, the imagined you, the real you? Yeah, it's not fair to the real girl. The real you? To none of us. Fair. I'll see you soon, Andreas. For real, I mean. I suppose that's true. Until then. Ah, and back here. Welcome back, Andreas. It has been too long since you have graced this court with your presence. Apologies, Your Majesty. My mind has been preoccupied by a tragedy at Kearsau Abbey. What manner of tragedy? The murder of a nobleman, a close friend of the Prince Bishop of Freezing. My friend, Brother Piero, is the abbot's only suspect. I know that he could not have done it.
How do you know? Examine your assumptions, my son.
'Cause he's got arthritis and a crick in his back. That's how I know. In addition to having no motive and violence not being part of his character, he's not physically capable of the act. Yes, facts. He is of limited strength and has a palsy in his hand that makes holding a paintbrush difficult. It's inconceivable that he would have the strength and resolve to kill the Baron with a blow to the head.
A whole lot of inconceivable shit happens on this hell of an earth, Andreas.
I just don't believe he could have done it. There has to be a better explanation. I do not deny that it is possible, but I find it extremely improbable. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? Hell no. Yeah, I do admit there is some possibility, but like he would have had assistance. And there's no sign of this being like a two-man job. I do not deny that it is possible, but I believe it extremely improbable. So, what do you intend to do about it? When I'm brought before the Archdeacon, I'll tell him what I know about other people who had motives to kill the Baron. I have to believe he'll see there are much more likely suspects than Piero.
Why have you taken this task upon yourself?
I have to save Brother Piero's life. He has no one else to help him. I want to find the real killer. If the Archdeacon's investigation threatens the Abbey, I want to protect it. I think it's all for Piero. He's our very good friend. He's backed us. We have to back him. I have to save Brother Piero's life. He has no one else to help him.
Your love for and devotion to him speaks well of your character. A man who is humble before his elders honours also his God.
Of course you'd say that, old man. He is right, though. If Andreas doesn't help him, no one will. Exactly. I understand why the brothers and sisters cannot act against the abbot, but I must do something. Why does that shit-for-brains abbot care about the death of a useless fart like Lorenz Rothvogel anyway? You're being too hard on the abbot. The Baron has many good qualities. No, he was a rapist. Well, I can't disagree with your assessment of them. Powerful people get upset when other powerful people are murdered. This could threaten the existence of the... That's the whole issue of this. Powerful people get upset when other powerful people are murdered. This could threaten the existence of the Abbey. Oh no, the Abbey! Who gives a damn about those hypocritical arseholes? In any case, Andreas' ability to prevent Piero's death depends on the judgment of the Archdeacon. Wise or foolish, corrupt or just, the Archdeacon will be the first and possibly final arbiter of Piero's guilt. Andreas must win the Archdeacon to his side using the tools favoured by men such as him. Reason, wisdom, authority, honesty. Where's being a suck-up? Where's being a suck-up? Here's the thing, we're a random nobody. We are a random nobody. The Archdeacon has no reason to listen to us. I think we need to get into his good graces. Then Andreas is clearly here because he seeks their guidance. He wants guidance from these people. I've been playing Andreas as rather logical. Reason? When's the last time you met a man who was truly ruled by reason? Is this our authority or his? Because if it's like, oh, we have to suck up to him. We have to be like, oh, you have the authority here. You are so wise and gracious. Da 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 da. can't tell whose authority this is. Authority?
Despite your talent, you are merely an artist. He has been invested with power by the Prince Bishop of Freezing.
So they're talking about our authority. No, we need to suck up to him.
You have no authority with him.
Wisdom? Wisdom can be shared, but the audience may not comprehend it. Honesty?
You must be honest in all things, Andreas, but many are not willing to accept the truth. And the cost of honesty can be high.
If reason, wisdom, and authority and honesty cannot triumph, what am I left with? Suck up to him! Kiss his ass! Hope. Okay, Beatrice has a much nicer message. Lies!
Truth. Above all, faith in Providence. Well, what do you plan to tell the Archdeacon, Andreas?
There were other people in Kearsau and Tassing who had motives to kill the Baron. Sister Matilda was badly beaten by the Baron for resisting his advances. She almost died.
Why was the Baron not punished for it?
It seems the Baron was beyond the reach of justice, at least at the time. Mother Cecilia sent Sister Matilda away to a hermitage to recover away from the rest of the nuns.
How did you come to this understanding?
Mother Cecilia told me that the Baron had harmed a nun during his last visit, but would not tell me more. I crept into the Abbey's library after dark and investigated the nuns' admittance records to learn the sister's name. Once I knew the name, I confronted Mother Cecilia again, and she told me what happened. Once I knew the name, I confronted Matilda, and she admitted what happened. I mean, we did both. We went to Matilda first, though. Once I knew the name, I confronted Matilda, and she admitted what happened.
You risked a great deal by trespassing in the library.
Right, Andreas might have seen the monks and nuns fucking scandalous behaviour. Not that Andreas would know anything about that. Lorenz couldn't get his way with a nun, and he almost killed her for it. I wish I could say it's surprising.
Sister Matilda's motive is a powerful one, but by what means might she have killed the Baron?
She might have hit him with a shovel. I found a bloody shovel in the convent garden. She claims she used it to kill baby rabbits.
A plausible weapon, to be sure. A shame we cannot confirm whether the blood on the tool belongs to Lorenz.
Are there any others you suspect? Well, we will have to go through our list in the next episode because I am over time for this one. So please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Kallista. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode.